It's been about 2 months.
Okay, kind of give it.
Yeah, we're going to have to shut that off now. So we're going to check.
Go ahead.
We're going to check the temp of our wort here. We're hopeful that we're at pitching temperature,
which
again we hope is at 75 degrees or below. And look at that, just to read Thermopan, 66 degrees. So we are good.
Ready to pitch.
We're ready to pitch. And the yeast, obviously at temp.
This is where all the magic happens.
That's called a beergasm right there. All right, this is pitching the yeast. It's a bottom fermenting yeast.
Yeah, it pretty much already oozed out when the
bottom fermenting.
Yep.
Goes to the bottom and ferments up.
And what we're gonna do, we're gonna do just
most ale yeast is bottom fermenting.
So like anyone else would do, a little water in there, a little rinse. Just make sure we get all the yeast into the wort.
That's billions of cells of yeast in that container.
Now those yeast will go to work converting sugar
to
CO2 and alcohol.
So now we need our lid and our airlock. So that's the final step. Now we
lid's over there.
Shove this in the closet, and hopefully in a couple days we'll see a whole bunch of bubbles. Now where'd that airlock go?
You're using this is the
Anybody seen the airlock
the
anywhere?
food container or the
food grade bucket, food grade lid. It's a ratcheting lock.
You need it as tight as possible.
Yep,
so
there's teeth on there. There's an O-ring. You want to make sure it's airtight and seated right. And we will put the airlock on.
It's a little plastic, like there it is.
This is the instrument we were looking at earlier.
So here's your airlock.
Fill up with water.
Maybe not quite that much. That's good.
So how much you want to fill it up?
Get that end wet a little bit. It helps it go into. Oh, you got water in the airlock.
Halfway.
So
About halfway.
Very good. Get that end wet a little bit. Help it go into the.
It's wet.
Stopper.
So you don't want any water messing with any other part of it.
There you go.
We should be airtight now.
Beer.
So watch, if you push on this lid, it should push a little bit of water down. See that? We're tight.
Airtight.
Okay.
And we've just made a batch of beer, hopefully. We don't have to do anything to it for about a week, which at that point we will add dry hops.
What? Where do you store this, and what temperature do you want to
store
put it
in? A dark room, and you want it to be around 70 degrees. So room temperature is fine. Assuming your heat hasn't been shut off, that whatever temperature you keep it at will be perfect.
Okay.
And I guess that's all.
That's it. Then they bottle it up after how long does it usually take, do you think?
Well, we want to dry hop it we want to let it ferment like crazy for about a week, and then after a week I'll add dry hops.
What do you do when you add dry hops?
You basically, it's exactly like what it sounds. We'll take an ounce of that Citra and we'll just put it right there in the wort.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, the beer has alcohol in it, and it won't be contaminated by anything that hasn't been boiled.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have to worry about infecting anything.
It's it's ready to go, and then you just let it sit for another.
So we'll let it sit for another week. So that'll dry hopping. You basically get, because not all the cumulones and hops boil. They boil below room temperature, boiling temperature. So some of them will come out just by sitting in the beer. So it'll help when you first pour or open that beer. It'll really smell like the Citra hops. You'll get a lot of that aroma from it, and it really makes a huge difference.
Sounds good. Well, this was fun.
All right, thanks for watching.
All right, got your beer. See ya.